Let's talk for a minute about LLMs. What is an LLM? Well, an LLM is a large language model. And you can use LLMs for things like chatbots or AI agents. How does an LLM work? An LLM works by having large amounts of data inside of it. So it's trained on a lot of different data from a lot of different sources, and it's good at giving generic responses that answer your questions. And it can be trained and used in specific ways to do things with like AI agents and chatbots. But let's talk about the data within that. So if you want to get a more precise result rather than a more generic result with an LLM, how do you do that? Maybe you're wanting to create your own chatbot that provides specific results for you. Well, you need to understand, is that LLM public or private? How are you, when you put your data in there, how and if is it going to be shared with the rest of the world, with the rest of the model? And are you going to have information leakage? And if that LLM is exposed to the internet, some of your PII, your personal information that you put in the LLM, might also leak out. So some of your data may leak out to the internet in addition to it getting commingled with the other data inside of that LLM. And that may sound a little scary to you. Let's talk about how expert scale is different. At expert scale, you're in charge and you come on board, and the first thing that you do after you fill out the application is that you have a conversation with our onboarding protege. Now this is an AI voice conversation, and that AI protege for onboarding will take your knowledge that it gets from that interview and put it into your own personal, secure, private knowledge base. Then you have the ability to add more information into your knowledge base. So blog articles that you've written, PDF documents, maybe you've got KPIs or personal stories that you want to add to your knowledge base. And then with that information that's in your knowledge base, we create an expert protege for you. Now this expert protege can help you augment the services that you offer to your clients. Now you're not limited to working with client X, client Y, and client Z. You can also work with client A, B, and C. You can work with infinite number of clients, and your digital protege can be available to them 24/7 and has direct access to your knowledge base. Now, do we use an LLM? Yes, we use an LLM, but we don't expose personal, private information to the LLM. All of the knowledge base controls how and what we access through the LLM. So all it's doing is using the LLM and using our proprietary system to formulate the right questions, and then filtering those questions and those answers back through your knowledge base to your expert protege, and then in those interactions with your clients. And now let's talk for a minute about sessions. As your protege has sessions with your clients, that information on each session is stored in a separate data structure that's private and secure, and each client's information is secured within that, so that only that client and you as the expert who has those sessions through that digital protege have access to that session information. It's not public, it's not on the internet, it's private and secure, and it's secure within the session structure. So what that means is when your digital protege has a session with client Y, it can access previous conversations and information, previous sessions that it's had with client Y. And it has all of that context, that rich context that gives it more insight so that it's using the session data that's private to that client and to you, and it's using the knowledge base, and through all of that, it's using this translation to that LLM for a broader set of knowledge to provide deeper insights in your expertise, in the things that you understand. Now, we have several experts, many experts on our platform. How do we make sure that expert knowledge doesn't leak from one expert to another or from one client to another? Well, we talked about how the client data stays private, but if we have knowledge base for you, are we sharing that knowledge base with other experts? Absolutely not. Each expert has their own specific knowledge base, and that knowledge for that expert is secured and private within their knowledge base. So just as you have your knowledge base for your digital protege that happened through the onboarding protege process, where it put knowledge in your knowledge base based on the interview, and you uploaded documents to your knowledge base, that's private to you and your protege and to your clients. The other experts on our platform have the same situation, but it's in their own private knowledge base as well. So sessions are private, knowledge bases are private and secure and isolated, as opposed to just using a generic LLM for all your solutions and hoping for the best that you don't have data leakage.